That Ducati
in the heavy braking zones of 1 and 6 at the moment. That's his worst streak since, I suppose if there's one thing, Drosa corner, it's anything but set him stop with it.
Just chipping away at the Pecco GP25, which safe Pecco Bagnaia at the moment, not getting Ducati, which just does not. In the Ducati, which just does not.
In the turn 6. Look out to Johan Zarco, 36. Fair play to big results, not to secure a stick race, but it's been no Japan and in Portimao.
Non-score, non-finish ultimately of that race, an instant about it, but had qualified some incidents to happen up ahead, but just 2 places behind him.
You know, Alex Marquez and Zarco, then they are back over the last few months. We've been talking prize assets with is the boss, Davide Brivio.
Explore the rider market. You exploring other options.
Here with us, I don't know where I'm what available, and guess, working on, chatting.
Your team is showcasing.
The Aprilia is quite happy. Let's see how we can continue. Yeah,
throughout the years, your ability, is that a challenge you would want to take on again?
It's like, I feel that we can try to aim for good results for the podium and so it's time to, we are quite comfortable to his potential.
On the other
fast, he can fight for the podium, so sit down and find out.
That the form we've seen in the opening 3 rounds of the year we're this weekend. Was there anything?
This morning he ran, a good start together and try and this afternoon.
Yeah, great stuff. Questions about his future, and you've just heard there that and Aprilia, that he will have to have a revolving door on that. Sounds like Davide Brivio winning potential in MotoGP. They were together at Suzuki, being linked there as Anea might be a possible option.
Position for any MotoGP ride next season, of course, but I guess so that manufacturer is going to be, and there is no guarantee.
And the power of a bike, he's not on a full. The rewards that come with that next year. Jorge interested, he wanted to be in the proven racing package with the engineering group where Liz.
And many would be looking at the on his right knee and once again front of his bike, but down at the Yamaha when rather than if.
That's nothing. A little bit to do in that American pension for somebody on that track house.
That aggression is matched with a loss of temper. Turn 1 is 12th, 37.8 is 20th, just ahead of Alex 23rd.
Hold himself back. That is how you do. Tavio Quartararo, I'm not going to say in 2020 was where both Grand Prix, the Spanish and the... But unfortunately, not self-motivated in the development phase.
When he was barely 20. Jorge Martin, of course, that's
Last
the final corner by the looks of it, isn't it? 12 to make sure that it's breaking into turn 13.
That ain't front just tuck a drop out of those tyres there. Well, because there's more, just that little knock to the confidence under pressure because there's only...
Forward when he did dump it at turn 13. So into the final corner as he now trudges also to get up to the to complete this set.
2026, he's already had a fair play to the Italian. He's over 36s himself in that final corner.
Got another couple of boxes to walk. The change of leathers might be required, but 0.3, looking to have any chance of Q2.
Soft tyre, Timeco, Acosta, Marini, bet session, Ralph and stands right now. That is going good lap being fired in by 22nd, 19th. Well, this Grand Prix Marquez is triumphing in front of repeating. But what does the boss think?
To repeat, his heroics to have taken a big step.
This weekend was very useful. It works until now, and for the race of Sunday.
Was this morning and the lap times that Alex was able to go out and do that?
Mark on top of the records, but I think that not focus only on the result, but on the feeling. Be a great weekend.
The big question,
because as you know, we struggle something in the setup.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks to Marquez so far here. Without a podium, as we get a replay of, I think there'll be a few relievers, doesn't it? It just sort of has expensive and too time-consuming. It's
quite the fuel tank was ripped out. Corner. We have had some. They're now 3rd and 4th.
Looks in fantastic. By the narrowest of margins, nothing really between time. This is a time attack coming in from the line he goes. There's now clear daylight between
Ducati, Honda. First Aprilia is Mark completing the top 10. He's just
getting an early banker in. Of course, this is out on circuit later around this Jerez circuit, silly on the soft rear tyre. And away though from the old time lap 1-0. How's Fabio getting on? Well, one Fabio's last year currently sits down in 30.
Already a bit of pressure play, so now Hondas may well get shuffled back down when the lights are
still in recent years. Have we 3 by that situation as in crash of day 1 here in Jerez. In the first the circuit on a Sunday with the lead at turn 6. Marquez session Going to be interesting to see the major surgery on the right shoulder. One rider Friday for the course of the weekend. He was weekend.
Yeah, one interesting point he made. He can obviously get himself physically sprint, although the build-up is shorter. He can then get back on the bike and start the freeze. And we have seen Mark can certainly say that he has taken a physical.
Really fully recovered. There's obviously a matter of Mark to use that as some kind of weekend, and he was able to sort of keep for Mark's right up this session. Gianantonio Marini in 6th place Grand Prix victory here on Sunday with Bagnaia pound seats.
To decide which 10 will guarantee their place would be something of a surprise given the form book of this season.
Through the Jerez circuit, 160 kilometers an hour and 65 kilometers an hour as well. Well, we just thought we'd great to be on board with Agura through turn 9. Here he is then by Agura. Brilliant lap. Jumped up into 4th place. Marco Bezzecchi up to 2nd. Agura up to 5th.
Who's up in 4th place of the season. Looks like something's got first 2 sectors, but it's all for naught.
In the drift of the best pace. Over the line, Binder goes down to 8 spots.
In Jerez, aren't they? John Zarco back ahead.
There wasn't he over the line? Just want to look. Ralph Fernandez up to 5th because he now leads the way.
3 somewhere on his previous lap.
Find himself back inside the top. Binder from Acosta from Martin on another mistake there. Costo's been pushed back down to 12th, trying to get himself back in.
Here come the factory Ducati. Steve, he also loses
this morning. Clearly is your 2025 35.7. Alex Marquez
onto it. He's now half again putting up personal best.
Alex is 135. Antonio needing. You'll see there in the background Brad Binder coming back into the pit, but needs to find some time here, doesn't he?
The speed is probably there for Pedro. First 2 laps, he was on a 3-lap old 16. He is the top Yamaha.
It'll be painful. Went wrong for Acosta. His crew chief looks on 35.66. I mean, he's going backwards on that V4.
Not sure he's got the patience to be on there. Bastianini, the reason we're at 14th. The 2 wheels pointing in the right direction.
KTM Grand Prix career. KTM starts. Anea was qualified of Bastianini. 5s, just giving consistently fighting for wins. It's last year he's dropped from, comes into his home round here in the red, as smooth as it was 12 months.
Look like a rider, unlikely.
Jorge Martin, back-to-back double podiums. He really has. This is a big 5 minutes though, isn't it? Breaks into turn 30. He has been able to do the spots. There at about 200. The Spanish rider then over the line.
Up to 3rd on a 36.4, so it's Marquez at least. I don't think anyone can really say they're changing.
Here in Jerez. It's good here by Martin. This Mayora through turn 7, comfortably put him into the top 10 of the riders in sector 4.
This lot, these riders who are 5th, Aldeguer having a fantastic Martin, and even the championship leader.
2nd for Bagnaia. He was down at 12th when he crossed on safely through to top 10. This a 136.7.
Zeki, so the shift now, his first run together. Mark, he needs this too. 90 seconds.
This is a big opportunity for Kate. Got this final lap then now. The director looking on.
End of his session as he runs on. Now takes 4, so it's Ducati of Mia. Gianantonio back at
all. Less than 300s between Anea, then between Zarco and Marini. That's been here for fellow KTM rider Bastien in this final sector.
Flag is now out, so it is.
Yeah, now then, he has the commentary box positioning on the main dagger flag together. Acosta shave a couple of times on the brakes. 3/4 of a second he is. Before stands and Alex Marquez. Well, here, Gianantonio's 36, Martin and Bastien. Massive credit to Alex Marquez. By Agura, who was on and turned 13 with the Q2.
They were just nudged out of Pedro Acosta. It is 1 KTM is a name.
Move down a bit, mate. Calm down. Give us a chat. For half a second behind.
5-2, and he just gave that sort of cut because Gianantonio did cut the gap. Right, a victory for the.
His expectation. Understand why he was. He's in a 4th place, but it looks like maybe Marco Bezzecchi. Ducati 1-2 playground and win. That's their long.
So the shift now, the focus together. Marc Marquez is this too. 90 seconds to go at the moment.
Opportunity for KTM to put a lap then now. Just looking on at the moment then.
He runs on at turn 1. So it's Ducati Aprilia. In Antonio back into 2nd place. It's changing.
Less than 300s between Anea, Arco and Marini. Those trio of Hondas. 11th KTM rider Bastien sector.
Both have had a poor third set. Now out, so it is all on this final.
Now then, he has delivered some great moments down here on the main grandstand, but it is not a Acosta 15th. And on the brakes going in second, he is behind Marquez. Well, he has just absolutely 36 flat is going to, and Bastianini, credit to Alex Marquez, who was as low as 9.13 respectively.
Yeah, the Honda challenge nudged out in those final minutes. Acosta, it is Enea Bastianini.
Calm down, give us a chance. Second behind Alex Marquez, who
gave that sort of calm down hand gesture, which I don't think was. Antonio did cut the gap right at the end. Tree for the second year in a row here was unlikely.
Expectations for this, why he was at Pratt place in the Austin. Maybe Marco Bezzecchi might have to Ducati 1-2 in the last few years. That's their longest since the end of 2020. Ducati have been in recent. And using a bit of Costa be certainly a lot more Q1. We will see the Spanish soft tyres on the KTM. Juan Mir in 11th, second starter here in Spain 1 year.
Marco Bezzecchi, so Aprilia gets stronger and stronger, but all four Aprilias are.
As far as 93, Mark done though, he's still right there. And Jorge Martin, well, 13, but he made it in, and that's all here in Jerez. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, an unusual will give him at least a thing for the 3 result was 6 plays by.
And won a real hefty old into Q2. Agura earlier on in the session, earlier on builds himself up into the weekend. 8.2 gets better and better. 24.
No sign of Alex Marquez's back-to-back victories have gone up. Antonio, this morning's pace setter. Fernandez 7th ahead of Aldeguer. Honda's missing out 3 of them. KTM just ahead of his teammate Brad Pitt. Wild card, Augusto for now.
2026 edition Spaniard. 20 was something special. A 1. Surely that will go.
Not a bad day either for Fabio Gianantonio. Form continues and he is
the World Championship lead. Well, it's been a pretty solid. And then a low 136.
The office for Mark 100% fitness. And Mark out of the top 10 briefly, all the way up to
on Sunday. Yes, brother Alex.
Sector 2 was top spot.
Of anybody else, did you? Well, it's already been a weekend of Spain. He did so. Nobody has been able to get in the Grand Prix of Spain as he.